And this was Jonah's camp when I knew the man in 19. This is where he would spend nights, days, camping out, overlooking the creek there, the Richland Creek. Now, unlike me, Jonah was not a stealth sort of, whatever doorway will do. No, Jonah was like a real mountain man. He was a real, get out of town, get away from the neighbors, and enjoy nature. Get the camera to focus. There you go. Behind those weeds, the weeds there, over to the rise there, is the train tracks. The new train tracks that runs through Belle Meade. And you had to walk down the path or down the tracks with a special trailhead, shall we say, that he knew, down the train tracks to this trailhead, off the train tracks, to his Xanadu here on the creek bed. Jonah had a tent here. He put up a tent. He had a tent. Nice, secure, safe. There was a tent somewhere around here. It was secure. It was safe. It was airtight. It had a floor. And when I knew him, I believe in the winter of 19, when he invited me one afternoon to his campsite, it was warm that night. As we spent that night sitting here with his lounge chairs and his collapsible chairs here for two, and talked into the night until we went to his tent for the evening. And the little citronella candle, and this is what I learned from the young man that night. It's like, I always wondered, how these campers, all right, they got like a tent out of the cold, but damn, I don't care if you're Tennessee or Connecticut, it can get pretty cold, How do they stay warm in that little tent? Well, citronella candles, And he fired one up, and he followed me into the tent with it. But I must say, it wasn't long before he blew it out. And he and I sort of kept each other warm here on the creek, the Richland Creek, off the Greenway here, the trail in Belle Meade. In the morning, we woke up, kind of washed ourselves off down by the riverside there, and went our separate ways. But to me, Jonah was like the pinnacle. Jonah was like the penultimate Like, this is where I had always wanted to be. Like with John, I always wanted to discover the world, go across America, see America. Much like Jonah had done, and was currently in Belle Meade. You know, he's no longer here. He's long gone. When he left, who knows? It's not my place. He's long gone. And like a true young man, he left no reminders of his time here along the creek bed, except for these memories of this dirty old man that found him so attractive a couple of years ago. But he was a penultimate, and he was a pinnacle. And like John, years before on the road in America, I was so glad I knew him. And I wish I could go on with him. I wish I could go further with him. But as a man of 30, 40 or so, his road was different than mine. His path was different than mine, much like I knew John's path years earlier was different than mine. To the boys of summer and the boys across America, from the hills of Tennessee